Hello, and welcome to Leadership TrailMix. I am Miguel Oliveira, and for the next few minutes we'll be together looking at one of the main ingredients that compose this art and science we call people leadership. It shouldn't be a surprise for you that I'm a big Brené Brown fan. And as I announced a few weeks ago, Brené Brown's new book, Strong Ground, has had such an impact on me that I can't wait to unpack some of the things I learned, insights that align closely with the purpose of this podcast, helping us become better people leaders for those we have the honor to serve. You may not know this, but Brené Brown is actually the reason why this podcast exists in the first place. After reading her book, Dare to Lead, I realized that if I wanted to see change, I had to be the change and step into the arena with the leaders I support. That became an opportunity to support leaders everywhere, and I'm so grateful for it. Today, we won't focus on any specific chapter of Strong Ground. I want to look at two principles that really stuck with me and provide language for things we often see and feel, but struggle to name. While most of the inspiration comes from the book itself, I'd be lying if I said that Stephen Bartlett's recent podcast episode with Brené Brown wasn't a catalyst for releasing this episode now. Stephen, you may never hear this, but thank you for such thought-provoking questions that added color to the book's concepts in a very personal way. Listening to that episode was a beautiful compliment to hearing the book narrated by Brené herself. Thank you for the Diary of a CEO podcast. I appreciate you. All right, the concepts I want to explore today relate to power and courage. Starting with power, Brené talks about 4 directions power can go. She talks about power with, power to, power within, and power over. The first 3, with, to, and within, are usually exercised by people who see power as an infinite resource. Sharing power doesn't mean losing their own. It's not like a pizza where the more people you feed, the smaller each slice becomes. This mindset allows leaders to share power freely. On the other hand, power over operates from the belief that power is finite. Those who exercise it feel they must dominate others to keep power from being taken away. Brené even uses the word cruelty to describe this approach, because power over is short-lived unless reinforced through control and fear. By contrast, power with, power to, and power within are long-lasting. As leaders, we should regularly remind people that they are in control. They have the power. I think it's like saying I love you to someone you care about. You could say it once, they now know that you love them, but that one time isn't enough. We need to remind them daily that we love them. On the same way, leadership requires consistent reminders through words and actions. This is a perfect example of walking the talk. Moving to the second concept, it's the concept of above and below the line. Brené mentions that having this language with her team has been transformative, and I can clearly see why. When she talks about above the line, she's talking about this conscious, grounded, and accountable way of showing up. When she talks about below the line, she's talking about this defensive, reactive, ungrounded way of showing up. How can we know if we are above or below the line? By listening to our emotions. Yes, emotions. You know those things we are often asked to suppress? They are signs of mental health, actually, and give us clues about whether we are above or below the line. I want to invite you to imagine a workplace where it's normal to say during a meeting, "This topic's taking me below the line. I need a break. Can we reconvene in 10 minutes or maybe tomorrow?" That level of self-awareness would be powerful. And as leaders, respecting that space between stimulus and response is critical, and we need to be the ones taking the first step and setting the example so that others feel safe to do the same. Okay, it's call to action time. Here's my challenge for us. For the next 7 days, can we pay attention to our emotions? If you find yourself triggered in a meeting and can't pinpoint why, embrace vulnerability and say, "I'm not ready to continue this conversation right now. Can we reconnect later?" Then, do the work. Look within and identify the source of that emotion before returning to the topic. These might be the hardest call to actions I've ever proposed to us, but I'm confident we can do it. It just takes courage. Are you with me? I do hope you are. Thank you for listening. Take care and talk soon.